All right, welcome to DeanBodi Show. DeanBodi Show. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well out there. Welcome to DeanBodi Show. DeanBodi Show. All right. Who's a good girl? Good girl, Bodi. Good girl. Good girl, Bodi. She's the best girl in the world. Oh, yeah. DeanBodi.com. 800-878-9698. The Bodi Hotline, Fun Line. Call the Bodi line. Say something nice to Bodi. She's waiting for you. She's waiting for you. She wants to make it a feature on the show. Say your first name, where you're from. Keep it simple. Do a little sing-along, your little zippity-doo-dah, so we can sing it with you. Bodi and I will do a duet and sing your zippity-doo-dah with you. How's that sound? We're having an awesome day over here, even though it's been drizzly, kind of rainy throughout the whole day. I don't know, the weather, not the weather man, but on the weather thing on my iPhone was telling me something totally different. And, before I get into that, I'm holding up Bodi's picture now. Remember, if you're listening to the podcast and you're not over to the YouTube channel, you got to get over there. DeanBodi space show, YouTube channel. So you can see me holding up Bodi's picture. So you know who the Bodi is. So you see the thumbnails with all the Bodi stuff on there and all the different creativity we bring to those thumbnails and all, and do all kinds of weird designs as we try to futz around with it. We want you to be part of it, okay? We're welcome to any suggestions, too. And I like to use Bodi because she's the main thing, the main inspiration behind the show. And, listen, DeanBodi.com is the website. The links are on there. One will get you over to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all the platforms. And, again, the other link will get you over to the YouTube channel, DeanBodi space show, YouTube channel. And, listen, podcasts with that's under personal life experiences. I noticed that, I was working with an SEO marketing with GoDaddy, and they got me on the first page of the search when you search that, podcast personal life experiences, and it was like 5 down on the first page. Today it popped up number 1 on the top. How cool is that? Nice going, GoDaddy. Go get him, Daddy. Go, Daddy, go. And the other one with Personal Life Stories podcast is around page 4, around 4 or 5 down, and they're still working on some stuff. This is one of those things that it doesn't happen overnight. It's like getting my adrenals kicked back in. One day at a time. Some things you just can't make go faster than they go, unless you're some kind of super hacker and you know how to invent your own algorithm and do that whole zippity-doo-dah. So, hey, we're doing a little nighttime video here tonight with the kind of crazy lighting, the ambient lighting. My 7.5 watt light bulbs came in today, so now life is okay again. The world is balanced once again because of my 7.5 watt light bulb. It's about as big as my thumb, but it fits on the light that goes over the stove. It's like the perfect light, just enough so you can see what you're doing without having this kind of you're 2 feet from the sunlight come on, and it's just not necessary. Comfortable lighting is where we're at over here. Bodi likes it better. I like it better. My eyes like it better. It's just cool, man, when you have that comfortable lighting when you're coming into the night. And that's just what I prefer. You should try it. And the stained glass light bulbs are sweet. Put those in your lights around the house, and you'll see what I mean. The stained glass light bulbs, they bring that kind of, like it says, that stained glass look to it. And I got to bring up something that every now and then we got to talk about Poopy, right? And when I walk Bodi around the neighborhood, when she was doing her business today, there's different, depending on where you live, like in our apartment complex and the ones across the way, there's about 4, half a dozen sets of them around. Even more than that, I think, if I counted them. But where we walk, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 6 sets of apartments, 6 or 7. And we walk all over the place. But they have their little poopy stations for the dogs. There's quite a few dogs around here, man. People like their pets. And it's amazing to me, you can go by one of the Poopy Stations, as we'll call it. It's got the bags right there for you. It's got the little waste basket right there, nice and beautiful. It even says it on there. I think what it's for, as if you don't know by looking at it. There's still an explanation, and I think that there's a fine, like a $50 fine or whatever, if you don't do it. I don't think anybody ever's gotten ticketed for that, because if it was, there's a couple $100,000 of poop around these neighborhoods, okay? So what's funny is some people will actually take a nice giant poop right by the poop station. The bag is hanging right there, and they still can't process it in their brain to pick it up or whatever. I guess they're just too good to do it, and not caring about the surroundings, and not caring about other people that just don't want to look at piles of poop. You know, especially if you live like in your balcony is like right there, or you're walking to the mail and listen, do the right thing. It's unbelievable how often this happens around here. And this is something Bodi even looks at me like, really? You know what that's like? If I could give you an analogy, as I do from time to time, it's like if I walked into the bathroom and I looked at the toilet, knowing that I'm supposed to go in the toilet, but instead I scoot to the side and just drop one right on the floor. Hey, then the person that was coming in there next behind me would look at it and go, really? I mean, the toilet was right there. You couldn't go there? I mean, seriously. It's kind of like that, except it's the dog. Anyways, man, it's pretty crazy. I don't know what's going on with some of these knuckleheads, but they just drop them all over the place. And the ones that do it right in front, or even better, the ones that drop it right on the sidewalk. Nice going. Right there on the sidewalk. What a beautiful thing. Or when you walk out the front of your apartment, let's do one right out in the front there in the front grass area. So people coming down the stairs that are on their way to work with their coffee in hand, they're ready for a great day, and they get to see a big giant pile of poop right there. What a way to start the day. Nice going, Mrs. Selfish. Way to go. Okay? So, that being said, hey, Millie.
Yeah. You know what he said about walking around in the poop stations and people just poop there right next to the poop station with no care about anybody else? Yeah, I heard what he said. It's unbelievable what some people do. They just don't care about anybody but themselves.
So, what are you going to do? Anyway, we're having one of these kind of good days today. We're following our nutrition, and we're keeping it dialed in and doing our keto coffees, as we've been talking about. I'm enjoying the heck out of it, quite frankly. And I'm enjoying mostly learning a new way, learning a new road. So, as an example, okay, and I'm doing the MCT oils, and we're using the ghee, in the clarified butter, which is what ghee is. We're putting that into the coffee, and the MCT, and the coconut oil. Listen, I'm finding out coconut is the Mac Daddy in the nut family. True story. And I'm learning about these things, and, how even spices and certain foods, and, you got to watch the mold factor, okay? The myco, whatevers, the moldy stuff, which is even there before it's even packaged and all the processes already happening. Plants are kind of aggressive. They do things to keep us from eating them. I got news for you. And there's some that, agree with us and some that don't. And all these other things in the nightshade group that I've known about before. But even taking it up a notch and paying attention. And that's why we got into that episode. F is for fructose. And the U is for uric acid. You put those two together, and you got to stay away from it. All right? So, we're learning kind of cool stuff, and I'm getting a kick out. It's always good to learn something new, and I'm kind of shedding off the old mentality and going down a whole new road. It's exciting when you do that. Really, I'm hoping that it really works out for me, as I'm basically kind of giving my body a full reset, doing the intermittent fasting and things like that. And really, once you get the hang of it and get it dialed in, and you're checking your ketones and all these other things, you start to get into the rhythm of it like anything else. when I was following my whole life the bodybuilding formula, every 2.5 to 3 hours you're eating, going 8 meals a day sometimes, no less than 6. But I mean, it's a project doing that. This other way, you're eating a couple times a day. And when you're cranked up the fat, you feel more satiated and more satisfied. It's an interesting kind of thing. And I'm just kind of new at this, really. But I'm starting to see what they're talking about. I've been in the nice, the ketosis, in the zone, nutritional ketosis, as they call it. My numbers are on point today with the breath tester and the blood. Just wanted to see them both. And it's kind of cool. So we're doing our thing over here. We're trying to get ourselves back in shape again and come back bigger, better, and stronger. And, it's a process, man. Going through this thing that I went through with the adrenal gland insufficiency and all that, and having that reaction to a higher dose of the medication. And I've never been through anything like this before in my life. And it's been a heck of a ride, and you just got to keep pushing forward. And I know I got a pretty kind of a long road ahead of me, but you just got to keep going. And Bodi, I could not do it without Bodi. Without Bodi's rehab center and me having to walk her around the neighborhood. Excuse me 1 second, please. Walking around the neighborhood. I had a little background ambient music. I just wanted to shut that off. And, that was kind of weird. It sounded like I was in a haunted house there for a second. Without walking Bodi around the neighborhood, there's no way. I would be much lazier for sure. I would not be pushed out there to walk her. And Bodi, one thing that's great about Bodi, there's no little short walks with Bodi. When Bodi's got to go to the bathroom, she's got her spots, and all of them are blocks and blocks away. Rain doesn't matter. We got to go where Bodi needs to go. And that's the way it is. So, but it's really, I look at it as a positive. Some days I've been so crazy exhausted, and I'm like, I know we got to go again, and we go sometimes far, and she's looking at me. It doesn't matter how cold it is because she loves the cold. Takes me on the journey all the way around, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house. We go across the way. And I always say, you know what? I needed the cardio walk anyway. I give myself that positive self-talk. And Bodi, I like her to be happy and do what she does. And, other than that, she's here in the apartment. And, when we get out, I like to let her get out. That's why I like that long kind of telescoping leash rather than the tight one that pulls on their neck all the time. It gives her that freedom of movement as she walks out in front of me, and I can always hit the trigger real light just to make her stop. If cars are coming or I want to get her in a certain direction and just give her a little bit of a light whatever. It's so easy without being aggressive. And I see some people pulling on their leashes so hard and pulling on that dog's neck, and it's too intense. And I think that's been working out great for me, and can stay with the consistent commands with Bodi. And we got a great communication thing going. She talks to me with her tongue, and like, everything okay? She'll give me a couple licks, meaning yes. And it's wild how we talk to each other. And we play with the ball and the toys in the apartment. She flies around here, and not the Daytona 500, but it's the Bodi 600, and flies around, banks off the love seat, banks off the couch. It's like, and flies around here. It's way too cool. And she does it effortlessly. Just a nice bank off the furniture, off the leather. You got to have the leather. The leather's pretty durable, much more durable than the cloth. And she let her do her thing, man. Bodi does whatever she wants around here. This place is easy enough to straighten up. Nothing in here is that valuable that can't be replaced for Bodi not to be able to do what she wants to do. I mean, she's got a giant bed under the TV. She's got one between the love seat and the couch. She's got one over here between the bar stools. She's got one in my room, and she's got my bed. So she likes different things and has different vibes. We got one little toy box on this side of the house over by the breakfast area, and one toy box over there in my room next to the bed over there, and she likes to pull toys out of each box. I think we got a pretty cool little setup, and we're having fun over here, DeanBodi. So that being said, listen, I just wanted to give you a kind of a little, hey, this is how we're doing over here today. We're doing kind of a late night podcast here, but hey, we're doing it, man. We're coming at you daily because life comes at you daily, not weekly and monthly. She's a good girl, Bodi. She's the best girl in the world, yeah. The good girl, Bodi, yeah. The best girl in the world, oh yeah. DeanBodi.com is a website. Got the links on there. Want to get you over to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Want to get you over to the YouTube channel, DeanBodi space show, YouTube channel. You can leave your email on the website too. Put your name on the list there as we're compiling a list and figuring out how we're going to handle that as we get some kind of list going so we can do some different things as we learn how to do different things. And 800-878-9698, the Bodi Hotline Fun Line. Say something cool to Bodi. Say your first name, where you're from. Whatever you want to say on there. Say something nice and wish us a happy holiday. And, that would be kind of cool. And we'll make it a feature on the show. Hey, we'll say your first name and where you're from, and we'll give you a town a shout out and whatever you want us to do. And that's how we do it over here, DeanBodi. So let's make it a great rest of the week, right? Let's keep moving forward. And, don't get caught up in all this pandemic, schmandemic, and all this fear. And they're keep on trying to get us down the fear road and all. It ain't working on this side of the fence. Enough already. So let's just keep doing our thing over here. Keep positive and keep taking care of yourself so you can take care of somebody else. DeanBodi.com. Oh, yeah.